Yeah, we have discussed so much of things about the leadership and the management and what is the relationship between the leadership and management, and also what is the role of the leader in a management. We have seen so much of things, and let's see about what is the management and leadership theories. That is, what are all the theories that connects the management and the leadership. So first one is corporate governance theory. So the corporate governance is really fascinating. It is really a hugely dynamic and very far-reaching. It grew as a concept in response to increasingly serious corporate scandals of the late 90s, and they remain strongly concerned with these areas of corporate risk. And there are some ideal factors about the corporate governance. What is the corporate governance is? Corporate, in the sense we can define corporate like a group of people. Corporate governance means a group of people governing the same task. So the ideals surrounding corporate governance are increasingly useful for small organizations as well as the biggest. So the corporate governance also offers interesting perspectives for leadership, authority, wealth creation, greed, risk, responsibility, ethics, morality, etc., and how these issues reconcile or conflict with organization and the market. And what is the corporate governance offers to the relation, that is leadership, that means where you can find different kinds of leaders in and same organizations. A corporate governance, in the sense, the great tasks are divided into simple tasks. If there is a leader, one leader who is performing so much of organ or that is works in an organization, whereas it comes into the factor of corporate governance, a single leader will do a single task and the next leader will do a next task. In that way, there are so many people, there are so many kinds of leaders that does that the leader does a different task. So you could find a different variety of leaders. For a particular task, a leader. For the next particular task, a leader. For the next particular task, a leader. So you can find a complex structure of communication, but you also find there is a good effective management with the different kinds of leaders appropriated for different kinds of tasks. So this corporate governance has come into effect from the late 90s, uh, where now we could see so much of corporate governance, and it helps the small scale industries as well. How it helps the small scale industries? So when it comes into a small scale, there is the works are gonna be very small and it is at the lower level. So there is not that much human resources needed, a very small kind of human resources needed. At that stage, the corporate governance give a very good effect. And the psychological contract. What is the psychological contract? The psychological contract is an increasingly relevant aspect of workspace or relationships and wider human behavior. And there are some descriptions and definitions of the psychological contract, and it emerged in the first 1960s. What is the thing is, and it has been developed by the Chris Agres and Eder Sitchin and many others. So experts have contributed their ideas to the subject since then and continue to do either. And specifically, they're focusing on the psychological contract and approaching it to form a particular perspective, of which there are many. So the psychological contract is a deep and varied concept, and it is open to a wide range of interruptions and theoretical studies. So what is this psychological contract is? It completely depends on people, the people's psychology. For example, if there is a manager and he is capable of doing so much of one or two tasks, and he is given freedom to work freely in the organization, and he is given authority to handle three or more tasks at the same time. This we call it as psychological contract. So here it gives a deep sense of behavior, and also this contract it gives a various kinds of interruptions from the other people, where you can get collective of thought, and where you can get collective of imaginations, and where you can get different sets of cultures, and where you can get different kinds of climate in a particular organization. So in that way, the psychological contract helps a lot. So it increasingly improves the working tendency of the people. It increasingly always improves the aspect of the workspace relationship, because it creates a good sense of relationship between the people, so that the leader finds very easy to unite the people or put together the people in a same concept. And this is a very famous theory, that is Maslow's hierarchy theory, and it is the most of the that is in most of the companies we are following this theory. So each one of us is motivated by needs. So our basic needs are inborn and have inborn, and over tens or thousands of years. So Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs, what does it do? That means it helps us to motivate, and it helps us to motivate all. So Maslow theory, what it means we must satisfy each need in turn, starting with the first, which deals with the most obvious needs for survival itself. Only when the lower order needs of physical and emotional well-being are satisfied, and we concerned with the higher order needs of influence and personal development. So he always focus on the people on the lower development, that the lower need. Sometimes this also creates a very discrepancy in the leadership also, because the leaders are the one who connects the people and the management. They stand in between the people and the management. Sometimes the management fails to look at the people at the lower end, that means at the labor side. They want the people to work for many hours, and they give the wages, and they that the laborers are not given authority to raise a question, or they are not given authority to request their need, something like that. In that case, the leader finds very difficult to connect the people at the lower end to the management. So the leader finds very difficult to create a good relationship between the people, and the leader finds difficult to create a sense of that is good working, and the leader finds difficult to create that is to make the people to understand the aspect of an organization. So in that cases, this Maslow's hierarchy of need really helps a leader very much. So that helps the leader to work easily, and that helps the leader to bring a very good influence among the people. So what does this theory statements? Concentrate on the lower people, fulfill their needs, automatically the organization will grow well. This is what this theory states. Of course, it's a good theory. So when you meet the organization lower level people, that is the labor level people, they will work hard, and they will start to be loyal to the organization. When they are loyal to the organization, automatically the leader finds very easy to connect the people to the management, and that creates a very great revenue to the management, and that also helps the people to understand the management. In that cases, it reduces the harm effects of the relationship breakage, and it reduces the harmful effects of the misunderstanding and the miscommunication, everything. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a very great tool for the leaders to achieve the organization goal. And love and spirituality in management and business. So love in business and work means making decisions and conducting oneself in a way. So if you love your work, if you love your business, the decision making would be at the next level, and the care for people and the world we live in. So why is love or spirituality such as the neglected concept in business? It has not always been so. So it is also a part of business and management, love and spirituality, because we cannot remove the love and spirituality anything from the world. So if you are a good leader, of course you should maintain a good love, and if you should maintain a good spirituality in your business. And organizational change, training and learning. So modern principles for the organizational change, management and effective employee training and development. So these principles are for forward thinking and emotional, and that is emotionally matured organizations, and who value integrity above results and people above profit. This is not to say that results and profit don't matter. Of course they do. The point is that when you value integrity and people, the results and profit quite come naturally. You don't want to put any such extra efforts, or you don't want to push the people, or you don't want to create a great pressure to the people, you don't want to spend lots and lots of trainings, or you don't want to create lots and lots of workshops so that you can push the people to the next level. So if you value the integrity, if you create the good values in an organization, all the results would occur naturally, right? So this is what we have seen in about the leadership. So what is the leader? The leader and management, they should be hand in hand. They should not work separately. They should work together so that the organization will be effective and the results would be effective. It is any such thing which separates the manager and the leader will create a very harmful effect. And whatever the concepts of leadership, we saw just some concepts of leadership about like an organization is like creating a symphony orchestra, that everyone should work together, everyone should work in a coordination, everyone should have a same point of focus. And the leaders are not born, of course everyone can be a very great leader. That can be done because of a endless training and self analysis. And a leader is one who should definitely employ, that is inspire the workers, so that the worker will follow you, so that you don't want to have a very great pressure to be, that is to make your team to follow you. If you inspire your team, automatically they will start to follow you. So what is the leadership? A leadership is a process. It is not a person, it is a process of inspiring and changing others and making others to work something. And leadership is an individual who influences a collection of individuals. And we saw process leadership. Process leadership means there are some kind of process that can be applied to the leadership. So one is trait one is having personal traits and attributes that attracts the employees, and your skill and knowledge that helps the employees to work better. And also not only the skill and knowledge, and also you should that is you should concentrate the attributes also. You should give equal importance to your skill and knowledge as well as to your attires, your attributes and your traits. And we saw four factors of leadership. One factor is you should honest in understanding yourself. If you are understanding yourself and if you accept yourself in a very honest way, definitely you can be a very good leader. And you should create a sense of trust in your work members so that they will follow you. And you should show yourself successful so that your team member will be successful. And there are different kinds of leadership. All the people do not require a leadership. Some people requires motivation, some people requires supervision, some people requires actually the technical help. So different people needs different leadership, so do not follow the same leadership in all the people. And maintain a two-way communication. Mostly concentrate, that is be careful with your non-verbal communication, because when you say they will not follow, but when you do, definitely they will follow. So you set yourself as an example to the people so that you can easily make the people to follow you. And also you can build a very good relationship between the people. And when we speak about the situations, all the situations are different, all the situations are not same. So make yourself appropriate to the current situations and the scenario. So if you show yourself same in all the situations, the result would not be effective. But if you show yourself different according to the different situations, then you can handle all the works very easily. So when you go for the situation, work on the situation immediately. So take a particular time and work on that particular time of time. That reduces the harmful effects. And there are some forces that makes you not to be a good leader. One thing is your relationship with your senior and the skill of your followers, and before all, that is the informal leaders in your organization, and how your leader, that is how your organization is organized. So be careful with these four factors. Maintain a good relationship, make your employees skillful, help them to be skillful, and please maintain some distance between the informal leaders. Do not interrupt them or do not make them to be inserted in your work, and understand the organization. And we saw some types of leadership. One is Boss theory of leadership. Boss theory of leadership is the people are emerged as a leader when they comes into a crisis situation, when they are supposed to take up the situation in an unavoidable thing. And also people can choose to become leaders. That is, you if you are chosen to be a leader, you are given time to be a leader so that you can work on your skills, so that you can work on your process, that it could help you to be a good leader. And also, what is a total leader means, if your person who is a leader, or if you want a person to follow you, you should gain some respect among them, and also you should gain some ethics. You should follow some ethics so that everyone will lead you. Do not self-serve. Do not work for yourself. The people will easily identify what is the motto of yourself, so that they will stop following you. If they stop following you, you will feel very struggle in leading your people. And what are all the principles of relationship? First, know yourself. Encourage yourself, that is self improvement. Always accept yourself, and always take a chance to improve yourself, and be technically proficient. And technical knowledge is very much important, so technically proficient. And always seek responsibility. Do everything with the responsibility. Do not do everything to blame others or to correct others. Always stick to the responsibility of the organization and make sound and timely decisions, because a decision taken at good time is worthy of millions of crores. So making correct decision at a particular time creates a very good sense of knowledge, and also it creates a very good revenue in the organization. And be a role model to your team members so that they can easily follow. If you want them to do something, do that first, then they will automatically follow you. And know your people. So knowing the organization is important. At the same time, knowing the people is very much important. It shows that you are sincerely caring the people. And keep your workers informed about the changes in the organization, about the important concepts, and about the holidays, and about the offers, everything. So keep your workers informed about all the information. So since you are responsible, develop your employees in a very responsible way. Develop a sense of responsibility in your employees, so that they too can work well in the organization. And examine your employers, supervise your employers, and make sure that they are clear in all their ways. And what are all the attributes of the leadership? Be, know, and do. So be professional, be a good trade, having good characters. And know your strength, know your weakness, know your character, and also know the strength, weakness, and character of your team as well. So know the human, understand the organization, and understand the climate and culture of the organization. And also direct your people so that they can work in a very good way and implement very good steps, always to enhance the people and create a good spirit in the organization. So there are certain things: goals, values, and concepts. The goals are always maintaining the standard in the work. That is the goal. The concepts are, that is the values, or the customer satisfaction, the investor relationship, the vendor communication, and maintaining a good relationship with the surrounding community. That gives the values of the leader. And what is the concept is how you define the organization and how you define the process of the organization. So roles and relationships. Roles, the different leader plays a different role. So based on your role, you should take decision and you should behave. And what is the culture and climate? Culture is the thing that is from the organization is defined. So based on the founders, the culture of the organization would be, if you are a leader, you should adapt to the organization culture, and you should make your team members to adapt to the norms and cultures of the organization. And what is the climate of the organization? Climate is the one which makes the people, that is how they feel in an organization. A leader is the one who is responsible to create a good climate in an organization. So if you are a leader, you should feel responsible to maintain a good climate in an organization. That is, each and individual's perceptions would be included here. So if you maintain your team in a good climate, so if all the leaders maintain their team in a good climate, automatically the climate of the organization would be fine. And team motivation and satisfaction is very much important. So you should ask these kinds of questions to yourself, and you should rate yourself how and where you are. And there are some leadership theories. The corporate governance, that helps the leaders that is where you can find different kinds of leaders doing different kinds of works, and they are coordinated at a point that it should be easily monitored and every changes can be easily done here. And the psychological contract is the people where they are emotionally connected to the organization, that helps the leaders to help the people or to lead the people in a good way. And also Maslow's hierarchy theory, this is the place where you can concentrate on the lower people. When you concentrate on the lower people, easily you can connect and connection between the people and the management, so that the leader find easy to lead a team, so that the leader find easy to drive the team into a super performance. As also love and spirituality, we cannot disconnect this from the business. So a leader should have a love and leader should be spiritually good, so that he or she can lead the people in a good way. So organization change, training and learning, that should be in a very good way, because you want to value the integrity, that is you want to value the strength of the people more than the revenue of the people. So these are all the kind of things that we have discussed about the leadership. So now I would like to do some case studies that helps you really to understand what is the leadership would be, because there are so much of people, there are so much of things that happened in an organization, so that really helps the leaders to work out, that is to change what to be in an organization. So I want to discuss about some case studies on leadership along with the solutions. So let's discuss some of the things that happened in an organization that really articulated here, that helps us to learn what is a relationship more, that is what is a leadership more. So this is a case study. So there was a person like Peter Weaver. So the Peter Weaver doesn't like to follow the crowd, and he thinks groupthink is a common problem in many organizations. But the former director of the marketing, that is he has worked as a former director of marketing. So this former director of marketing for consumer product company believes differences of opinions should be heard and appreciated. So as Weaver states, I have always believed I should speak for what I believed to be true. He demonstrated his belief in being direct and candid through his career. On one occasion, he was assigned to market Paul, and he was the marketing manager for SaaS products. So during the brand review, the company president said, our SaaS is losing out of price, so cutting competitors, so we need to cut our prices. The director said this. But there, all the marketing executives were kept silent because they didn't speak anything. But Peter found the courage to say he disagreed with the president. He then explained the product line needed more variety and a larger advertising budget. So prices should not be cut off. Of course, and fortunately, the president accepted Weaver's reasoning. And later his supervisor approached him and said, I wanted to say that, but I just didn't have the courage to challenge the president. On that occasion, the president sent Weaver and 16 other executives to a week-long seminar on strategic planning. So Weaver soon concluded the consultants were off base and going down the wrong path. So between sessions, most of the other executives indicated that they didn't think the consultants were on the right path. So consultants heard that about the dissent and dramatically asked the participants where they were in or out. Those who said out had to leave immediately. As the consultants were around the room and every executive who privately grumbled about the session said in, Weaver was fourth from last. When it was his turn, he said out and left the room. So all leaders spend time in reflection and self-examination to identify what they truly believe and value. Their beliefs are tested and fine-tuned over time. So true leaders can tell you without hesitation what they believe and why. They don't need a teleprompter to remind them or to their core beliefs. And they find the courage to speak up even when they know others will or disagree. So this is a case happened about a new employee. He was not a leader, but he joined as a employee in an organization, and something has happened there. Here there are some points we can discuss. What is the thing is, what leadership trait did Weaver accept? So what is the trait the weaver had? So the weaver had a sense of courage. So the weaver strongly believed that everyone's thought must be heard. So even though he was not a leader, he was a very simple employee. He thought that his voice must be raised and his point must be accepted if it is true. So what is the trait is he had a good trait of accepting the point of others. Since he believed the same, he exhibited his own thought, and fortunately it was accepted too. So these kind of traits like what we were had will help a leadership role also, a sense of courage. So strongly disagrees even when the president is speaking. If you have a good point or if you have a good knowledge about what you are saying, definitely you can strongly approve a point and you can strongly say what you like to do. That is a good trait in leadership. And next question, if you were in Beaver's position, what would you have done? So that is the question you want to ask yourself. If you were in Beaver's position, what you would have done? So will you disagree the president strongly, or will you go with that? That is the second thing happened when Weaver was supposed to attend a seminar. He thinks that seminar is not good and the consultant they are not providing good information. Actually, Weaver was thinking to go out of the seminar, but all other executives were feeling not comfortable to tell about their opinion. So to tell about the opinion, how to leave out the seminar. But we were found very easy when it come to that thing. We were found very easy, and he strongly disagreed the consultant voice, and he thought is he suddenly left the room without anybody's decision or without anybody's thing. So this is the trait he followed, that is the weaver followed. So he doesn't want to waste his time, or he doesn't want to uh, waste his effort in being in a wrong place. So suddenly he has taken a decision to leave the place immediately. So these kind of traits make a person very confident, and also where he can be a very good leader as well. And where does this courage come from? Where does the weaver got this much of courage? Because he strongly believed himself. He strongly believed that he is capable of doing all these things. He strongly believed that his ideas would be accepted, and he is very clear in his ways. So since he is very clear in his ways, his courage, he got courage to speak out, and he got courage to disagree with the president, and he got courage to leave out the seminar hall as well. And list out the three important most values in this case. Of course, first of all, we should discuss the value about that is listening to all. Since he has a that is he holds the value of listening to all, he strongly believes that his voice would be listened and his points would be discussed. The second thing is the decision making. He made a prompt decision, because sitting at that seminar hall and wasting the time and just to pleasing other people, he doesn't want to waste his time and energy, because he is working for the organization. So he wants to be more productive. So what he done is at once he left the seminar hall. So making the correct decision at the correct point is also the value we want to discuss. And that he didn't work and he didn't do anything for his self-service. He didn't disagree the point, so that he didn't do that because he wants to get attention from the president. Because if he wanted to get the attention from the president, he would have given a positive. Otherwise, he would have it is adhesive to the president point. But he didn't do that. What he did that is he strongly disagreed the president voice. That shows he is directing the organization towards the benefit of the organization. He doesn't care what others think about himself, but he wants that task to be completed. So these three important values, that is these three important values the weavers had, that made him a very good leadership. So a leader is a one who possesses a good knowledge, good skill, who which good traits, and he must be capable of taking good decisions at a take good time. He must be able, he or she must be courage to give out his points, or he or she must value herself or himself. He or she must value their time and effort, and they should direct all these things in a single point, and that point is the organization growth or the task to be completed. So with these things I want to conclude. Please take a checkup on yourself and check where you are in these points, whether if you are a good leader, how you can handle all this organization. So if you possess all these things, definitely you have a very good skill of leadership. Right. Thank you all.